$5. That's what the meal shop's all about. Ralph Avenue at Avenue J in Brooklyn.
With this beautiful velvet blazer. I saw it at Lord & Taylor's for $60. Here at the Dress Barn, it's only $40. That's why I shop at Dress Barn.
Visit Dress Barn today.
Help your heart. Get your blood pressure checked. Good morning. This is a report of late news, sports, and weather from News Center 4. Hurricane David headed for the Dominican Republic and its capital city of Santo Domingo, bearing 150-mile-an-hour winds at its center. The first gale struck Santo Domingo at midday, breaking utility poles and ripping roofs off buildings. In Haiti, government and relief teams worked to avert a tragedy. The Haitian capital city of Jacmel lay directly in the path of the hurricane. Residents of Jamaica and the Lower Bahamas have been put on hurricane watch. 3 bank robberies were committed Friday as hoods upped the number of bank holdups for August to a new record of 128 stick-ups. Merchants and police union officials have complained that increasing the police guard on banks has cut the amount of protection available to the general public. Police union officials argued that banks have enough money of their own and should hire additional security forces. New York's police commissioner says he'll change department policy if a federal probe into last week's killing of the mentally disturbed Brooklyn man calls for them. In fact, in the past 10 days, police officers have killed 2 former mental patients. Robert McGuire says officers were following standard procedures in each case, but policies might be changed. But he also says he won't let the department be the fall guy for the increasing numbers of mental patients being dumped out of state facilities. University of Maryland doctors this morning have successfully implanted a metal tube to replace the lower spine of a semi-paralyzed woman. The operation, the first of its kind, took over 19 hours to complete. Doctors there are very optimistic and say the woman should be able to use a wheelchair soon. The Civil Aeronautics Board voted Friday to allow airlines to raise fares by almost 10% effective Saturday. The board took the action because of the cost of aviation fuel soared by more than 10% during July. But a CAB spokesman stressed that although the airlines will be able to raise fares by 9.5%, he doesn't expect them to, at least immediately. He says competitive pressures will tend to keep the price hikes lower than that CAB ceiling. While Chrysler's 2 top executives have said they will become dollar-a-year men for the next 2 years, about 1,700 other top executives received a 10% pay cut. The salary reductions could last up to 2 years. Executives taking cuts will be recompensed in either stock or cash in August of 1981. Automobile prices are going up again. General Motors will raise the sticker price of most 1980 cars by an average of $244, about 3%. GM says cost increases are necessary because of the cost of meeting government emission and fuel economy standards. The increases do not apply to GM's new X-body front-wheel compacts. GM and the UAW talked new contract terms Friday, and the automaker took a hard line at the onset. GM says it will never accept the union's demand that pension benefits be tied to the cost of living. 3 men were being hunted Friday by police in 2 states, New York and Pennsylvania. The 3 from Winterdale, Pennsylvania, are wanted on second-degree murder charges in the slaying of Charlotte Rivenberg, an official of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Mrs. Rivenberg's body was found August 16th at a summer home in Delaware County, New York. She had been shot in the back. A 4th suspect, Herbert Witzenberger, was arrested Tuesday. On the baseball front, the Yanks 7, Kansas City 3, and the Mets nothing, Houston 2. Jimmy Connors, in the midst of a tough match with VIA Armitage, was handed the victory when Armitage defaulted because of a nervous tremor in his right thumb. One major upset in the tennis championships, 19-year-old Frenchman Yannick Noah defeated 12th-seeded Wojciech Fibak of Poland. Other men advancing to the 3rd round were Eddie Dibbs, Harold Solomon, and John Lloyd of England. In the women's division, Ivan Goolagong-Cawley, Wendy Turnbull, Greer Stevens, and Laura DuPont won their second-round matches. The weather for the early part of the weekend looks good. Saturday will be mostly sunny with a high in the mid-80s inland and the mid-70s along the coast. Only a slight 10% chance of rain through Saturday. The outlook for the rest of the Labor Day weekend is not all that pleasing. Sunday will become increasingly cloudy, and Monday will probably be like the early part of this weekend, cloudy with a chance of a few thunder showers later in the day and at night. Quite warm and humid both days. Right now, under clear skies, it's 70 degrees. This has been a report of late news, sports, and weather from News Center 4. Next news at 6, Saturday afternoon. I'm Bill Rippey. Have a good day.
This is a reply to a WNBC-TV editorial by Lionel M. Rogers, Storch Engineers.
A WNBC-TV editorial suggested that putting traffic signals on flash during late night hours would save gas and frustration. This is true, but unfortunately putting signals on flash can result in an increase in collisions. Sometimes more accidents occur in the late night hours with signals on flash than during the remaining 18 hours. However, there are other safer ways of saving gas, time, and tempers. If signals are actuated, that is, have detectors which sense an approaching car, not only is side street traffic given immediate service if there are no main street cars, but the main street cars are spared the stop if there are no side street cars. If the main street is part of a progressive system, which normally gives a green wave for cars during the day, the green wave can be forgotten during late night hours when few cars are traveling, allowing side streets to get an immediate green. Yes, improvements are certainly needed in daytime as well as late night, but increasing the risk of a trip to the hospital or the morgue isn't the only or best way to save gas, time, and tempers.
You have been listening to a reply to a WNBC-TV editorial.
America has been called a consumer paradise, where there is an endless variety of products. This modern miracle of production and consumption has a dark side. Hazardous wastes that endanger our health and environment. We've made progress in cleaning up the air and water, but we've neglected the land. There's a new law intended to end this neglect. You can help. Write EPA, Washington, D.C.
If you're a parent, this is a message for you about TV commercials. Now, your children see lots of them, and with your guidance, they can learn a lot from them. Commercials can help you do your job when it comes to teaching your children a sense of values, what is and isn't important and why. Commercials can help you teach them the value of a dollar, how to decide what's worth the money, and what saving is all about. Why not use TV commercials to help your children?
Bag it, bag it. If you can't can it, bag it. You know you love the city, clean and pretty. Tie it up real tight, bag it right.
Use cans or heavy-duty plastic bags and put it out on the day of pickup. A cleaner New York is now up to all of us.
You know you love the city, clean and pretty. Tie it up real tight, bag it right.
Visit the animals at the Bronx Zoo.
Are you living a full life? If you are, congratulations. If you have found a way. However, if you are not, then you ought to be asking yourself, why not? Perhaps you have been clinging onto the memories of your past. It may be important for you to do so because it was the work of your own hands. But that was yesterday, and today you can't do a thing about it. On the other hand, you might be worrying and looking out for your future work, your retirement, your family, your children and their futures, their work, their families, and so on. In this way, you are actually putting off until tomorrow the life you have to live today. The present, however, is of such short duration that we seldom take much notice of it. And yet it alone counts, because it alone is in our hands to live. In fact, the whole of our lives is simply a succession of present moments. This is the Chinese character for the present. It is also the word for reality and manifestation. Like all Chinese words, it is made up of little pictures or reticles. This one is made up of two reticles, the precious stone on the left-hand side and the reticle for to see on the right-hand side. So the Chinese ideas of the present is something precious that you can see. The present is therefore delicately precious. It has to be handled with care. It is the only moment that we can see or feel. It is a moment of great possibility. It alone possesses reality, and it alone provides an opportunity for action. It is the only moment we have in our hands to live. It is also the one point in the whole vast expanse of human history you have of contact with God. It is through this door of the present moment that God enters into your life. But God will not step through that door unless you open it. You can open that door here and now in the present moment by living it to God, both the past and the future. Place yourself totally in His disposal. If you can commit yourself this way, you will live your life to the full, and you will find a complete success of your life in this world. I'm Father To of the Chinatown Mission of the Episcopal Diocese of New York.
Do you have business problems? You can benefit from free confidential advice offered by the Executive Volunteer Corps. It doesn't matter if you are starting a new business or struggling with an old one. Visit us at the Executive Volunteer Corps. It's a free service of the city's Office of Economic Development, open to all in the metropolitan area. Come to 41 East 42nd Street.
Taxpayer. You can help stop fraud, abuse, and waste of the taxpayers' dollars. The United States General Accounting Office has established a toll-free fraud hotline telephone number you can call any hour of the day or night. 800-424-5454. Write it down and keep it for future reference. It's an investment in good government.
In the summer, water acts like a magnet for people, and for lightning, too. On, in, or near the water, you are in danger when a thunderstorm approaches. Get away from the water and under cover before the storm moves in. A lightning safety message.
WNBC-TV Channel 4 in New York, a subscriber in good standing to the Television Code Board, Washington, D.C. This concludes our program schedule for the day. Portions of the preceding broadcast day were pre-recorded. For the best in television entertainment, stay with WNBC-TV Channel 4 in New York. We'll return to the air tomorrow with more of your favorite programs. This is Arthur Gary wishing you a good night on behalf of Channel 4, part of your life. And now, our national anthem.